Good morning, Genevieve.
Hi,
Thank you for
Ross.
being with us today. We really appreciate it. To start us off, I was wondering if you could briefly, in your own words, tell us a little bit about the men's residence, what it is, who it's there to support, and all the good it does on a day-to-day basis.
That's great. Well, we're really proud of our men's residents and all the work the staff do to support these men. It's located at the Hamilton Downtown YMCA in downtown Hamilton. And we have 174 beds in total at the facility. So on an annual basis, knowing that we turn over about 25% of those rooms and finding people permanent housing, we support about 220 men per year. The program is designed with two separate specific programs. Our third floor houses about 43 transitional living rooms. So that's where individuals come in for up to 6 months to 1 year. And we provide access to housing workers, mental health and addiction, harm reduction workers. We have a physician clinic with nursing support. So they really get wraparound support with the goal of finding permanent housing. Our other three floors, which make up about 131 beds, are designed for more permanent position in housing. And so we know how precarious housing can be right now from that risk of homelessness is really just, one major life crisis away. And how difficult it is to find affordable rent. So our men's residence is about 466 per month. And so we consider that deeply affordable. And then with that, they have congregate living facilities, and we support the men with additional supports as well. And they have access to the medical clinic that we were able to start last year.
Well, that's sounds like there's definitely a lot of resources available to them, and you guys are really there to support them through any point in their life. We thank you for sharing that. From your perspective, what are some of the biggest challenges facing the men's residence right now, and where is the need the greatest?
Yeah, the need is great, and I think it's so great on so many different from so many different perspectives. And when we think about homelessness right now and the precariousness of housing and being able to find stable housing, that in itself and finding affordable rent, many of the individuals, that we are supporting now, have been, loss of a job, could be an addiction or mental health issue. You're really one step away from a major crisis. And if there's not a lot of buffers in place, people then are into the shelter system or on the street. And, I think the need is great. We also, many individuals that we see don't necessarily have family support or things to lean on. And then you put that combine that with the complexity of mental health, addiction, particularly health issues, as we see, our average age in residence right now is 58. So it's an older demographic than what people might see, and those needs and things shift over time. So what we find is the individual needs can be quite different coming in, but what happens once they come into the YMCA men's residence is they get a sense of community of people, knowing where they are, knowing their name, being able to help navigate what supports might be needed. But it's not uncommon to see one major life crisis of being a step away from, losing housing and losing homelessness and could become really a very difficult cycle to break out of.
Yeah, it's definitely not the easiest world out there, nor is it getting easier. And sometimes I think a lot of people take for granted how quickly the tide can turn without a support network. As you said, you really are just one major life incident away from being upended when you're on your own. So it's good to know that there's at least a sense of community and somebody there for these people to lean on. Uh, Moving on. Last year, Team Cornerstone was proud to contribute through our fundraising efforts over $18,000, which was shared between the Youth and Transition program as well as the Men's Residence program that we've been discussing. Can you talk a bit about what that support has meant for the men's residents and how it was felt in their or in the ability to help them and you perform your duties?
Yeah, I think first of all, the Cornerstone team was absolutely phenomenal at both in the energy they brought and their fundraising efforts. It really speaks a lot to the organization as a
Thank
whole.
you. We were happy to contribute.
Yeah, so glad that we saw you back for our second annual event. Um, that it really makes it's a critical difference. One of the things that we were able to implement last year was actually a new community room where we created a physician's clinic. So we've got physician and nursing support that's now on site and available to residents, and that wasn't in place prior to the first Hockey Helps the Homeless event. So really excited to have those access to health and medical resources on site because that removed a lot of barriers for people to get access to that medical support. We also, in the other three floors that I described, currently those floors are unfunded. So we get no external funding for whether it's, room upgrades or, supports to like taxi services if people might need appointments, non-perishable foods and providing, some food items for individuals. So every dollar makes a difference. And we definitely appreciated the contributions from Cornerstone and the other teams that fundraised for the men's residents, and it went directly to supporting both the infrastructure of the residents as well as the direct needs of the men that call the YMCA their home.
Oh, well, again, it was our pleasure. We were more than happy to take part. We all know how worthy the cause is, and any dollar we can donate to this cause, we're more than happy to do so. With that said, that's incredible to hear. And that and the stories like this, and it really helps people understand the impact of this work. I was wondering, in particular, do you have any success stories or cherished moments from the men's residence and the program that you really stand out to you, or ones that you feel the public should know about?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. One in particular, I think about an individual that we helped through, as you know, in 2024, the men's residence had a fire. And there was one individual that came into the residence that had previous employment and due to a medical situation with a very significant hernia, ended up losing an employment and was not able to kind of navigate the system to have the procedure needed. So we helped with our partners, through St. Joe's and Hamilton Health Sciences, we're able to help navigate that system for him and was able to get the medical procedure that was needed and has had a great recovery. And because he's now in a much more stable state, is talking about being able to secure employment again. And for the first time in many years, was actually able to travel home to see his family, including his wife and children, which was all made possible by the interventions. But there's so many that I can think of between us helping people get permanent housing, individuals that we were able to help get training for security and securing a full-time security role. And so there's so many success stories. I think it's one of the things I appreciate most about working for the YMCA is you come into work every day and know that you're going to be able to make an impact. And those success stories are happening really every single day.
Well, that's an amazing story, and we're really glad to hear it. And it's very evident that with all the troubles these times are bringing, there's a wide variety of people experiencing difficult times, and it really only takes one to upend somebody's life. So I could only imagine the call or the need for resources you and your facility have to cater to people from all these unique situations and all the unique help that they require. So on behalf of Cornerstone and everybody else, so, we'd really like, it makes us happier to know that people like you and programs like the YMCA Men's Residence are there to help these people regardless of where they come from or the troubles that they're going through.
Well, that's amazing. We're so grateful to both Hockey Helps the Homeless and Cornerstone, all the other teams that are helping to be part of the solution for our community. And teams are making a difference one person at a time. So thank you.
Oh, again, it's our pleasure as integral parts of our community. It's our onus to give back and shape our community to what we would like to see. And any efforts that we can contribute to worthy causes such as yours, we're more than happy to do so.
That's great.
So, and just again, I want to thank you again for taking the time to speak with us and for all the meaningful work you and your team are doing every day. It's clear that this program and the men's residents are making a real difference, and we're always proud to support it.
That's great. Thank you so much, Ross.
Of course, thank you.